and welcome back. It's really great to be back with you all. Firstly, I want to say thank you so much for all the lovely messages that have popped through over the summer and sort of late spring. I really appreciate all your kind thoughts. It's just one of those things, isn't it? I had to pause the channel for a while because life just got in the way. We lost a dear friend, my son moved to Australia, work was really busy, and it just all got a bit too much. And I think the most important thing for me when I'm communicating with you in this way is to share credible and genuine advice. And you know what? Sometimes in life, I just couldn't give a toss about blusher or lipstick. Sometimes I just need to get myself out the door and deal with life. And I felt that I was creating these looks, but I wasn't really in tune with them. It wasn't really where I was. And it felt a little bit vain and inconsequential to how I felt. I don't know whether that resonates with you, but sometimes things in life are important and sometimes they're not. And I'm a true advocate for using skincare and makeup as a massive confidence boost. It's been a vital part of my life for, you know, allowing me to be confident in front of other people and making the best of myself when I didn't feel so good. It's not necessarily about a glamorization or a sexualization of my face, of who I am. And that's so important. And I think these days it's just wonderful that it is about an expression of yourself rather than anything else. But I love painting faces. I'm a face painter and that is my true love. And so I just didn't feel genuine, I think is the short answer to that. And I didn't want to feel like that because I have absolutely loved my 8-9 years of coming on here and sharing everything with me. And I'm back in that space. I'm back in that space and I want to collate lots of little looks and answer your questions. I'm going to come back twice a month. So every other week, just to get a really good balance. So once a month I might do a kind of review of like the best mascaras. I know you love budget beauty, so I'm going to continue looking and collecting and editing the really best versions of everything. As you know, I don't react really quickly when things are like popping or trending because I really like to trial things and make sure that what I recommend really does work. For women of my age in this really busy sort of sandwich years where there is very little time for ourselves, but we still want to look good, but we're managing with a different type of skin texture, our features are softening, but we still want to look damn hot. Okay, I won't go into song. But you know what I mean, yeah? Don't know where that one came from. Yes! As you can see, I'm back in my groove. Right, I'm going to talk about things that I've loved over the summer and things that I've been doing whilst I kind of do a chit chat with you. Now, there are so many different types of serums and skin boosters and skin glows. Just checking that the shade is the right one. This is the Beauty Pie Super Luminous Skin Genius. Now, I'm wholly recommending this. Let me just check that gets into focus. Because it is the one of the skin tints that has lasted a decent amount of time. It's not a long wear foundation. Lasted a decent amount of time, but mostly with someone who has a dry skin, which is me. It just gives that lovely vitality and radiance back into my skin. I'm going to focus on bringing life back into your skin and kind of combating dry skin and how to balance makeup with that, because that is an issue that so many women have. And it does take a little bit of thought. So I'm going to do a whole video focusing on that, but I just wanted to share this lovely Beauty Pie one with you because if you can see, it's quite a beautiful sunny day. It is the 1st of September. I haven't bought my new notepad yet, haven't bought a new pencil case, but I will do. I love going in and getting some new stationery. It's stuck in us, isn't it? You know, that school term It's just quite nice to kind of refresh the office and organisational space. So maybe I'll do some more lighting to kind of to show you how that looks, but hopefully you can see that it just gives a lovely sort of what I like to describe as a 10 denier finish. It feels really hydrating. This is the new formula that came out, I think it was April time, the beginning of spring. And it came with a little bit more coverage because, you know, you can spend quite a lot of money on these products and you don't get the coverage that you need, but you just get that lovely kind of sheerness to it. There's other products that I will recommend as we go through the months that have got a bit more coverage and a bit more longevity. But if you just want a bit of boost to your skin and that nice hydration, that is great. Under eyes has to be the By Terry Hyaluronic Serum. Now I do the 00 I've got. This is my own one. I love to use this under the eyes because it moves with my skin. So it doesn't dry out this area of my face. If you use one of my favourite concealers, which is Hourglass Airbrush Concealer, that is really great, but it's great for the rest of the face. Under the eyes, it can literally dehydrate the skin. It lasts really well. And if you haven't got dry skin and you've got an oily eye area, that's going to be perfect for you. This is the thing. There are like so many different recommendations or so many different products, but it's very, very individual to your skin type, to your skin tone, your lifestyle, what effect you want to achieve. And this is the kind of appetite, isn't it, that kind of keeps us all watching and tuning in, just trying to find those right products. Anyway, that is all I have been doing, keeping my skin just like that, and I felt really great about it. I've been using lots of cream, bronzers and blushes, but really weirdly, I was kind of getting disappointed that they just weren't lasting. Like, they were giving me the juice and the loveliness. I know I love the Makeup by Mario, the Beauty Pie, the number 7 is a really good one, which is a great copy of the Chanel cream bronzer. But I just found that by the time I got to the studio or in the afternoon when I looked at my face, it just was the same, didn't have any kind of warmth to it. So I've opted for some powder bronzers. I've got my favourite, and I've also gone to powder blushes. We'll talk about that another time. This is the one that I've been using all summer, and it is the massive Giorgio Armani. I've got the 100, and it's super, super lovely. And I've been applying it with my Self Glow brush from James Reed, which is a really lovely brush for putting on his fake tans and tints. It's firm, it's solid, so you get quite a lot of product on it. So I whiz it all around, and I've just been sort of colouring in my face in a soft way. But this is probably the only powder bronzer that doesn't really look like powder. I don't like the sort of sparkly finish. I like something that looks sort of matte. Look at that already. That really, really highlights the orbital area of my face and gives my face definition with that big brush that's nice and firm, but it doesn't look powdery, or it doesn't look grubby, is the point I'm trying to get to. Because one of the problems of applying a powder to a skin that hasn't been powdered, a slightly damp skin, is that your complexion can look grubby and dirty, and you don't get that lovely soft finish. It's not blended well, but this is quick, easy and effective. And I have to say, I do like the big pan. It's a bit annoying, the makeup bag. It does take up a lot, and it's weighty. Wouldn't be one that I would want to drag around the whole time, but I'm not one for taking a load of makeup out with me anyway. But I've really loved using a powder, and you know how much I love creams. Quick, easy, effective, and it's just given me that little bit of warmth that I need to my skin. Now, brow-wise, I don't think I used this before. This is the Stylo eyebrow pen from BBB, Blink Brow London. Now, you know I love an ink. You know I love the Wonder Brow inks and the NYX inks. This has got 3 little spoolies to it. Let me just groom my brows first. Let me just use my Lancome pencil. You can see that my brows now are really thinning out here. I will definitely pop back and see Miriam to just get those filled in so the tails are stronger. Can you see, like, oh, that's a better beauty light, isn't it? I love when the sun comes in and out. You know I love you seeing my face in different types of lights. This is a really beautiful, soft beauty light. You can see it as it is. But makeup does, here I'm going off on a tangent again, going off on a tangent. But what I'm trying to say is the light changes, it kind of makes it more real, because you will put your makeup on in a beautiful light, maybe at home, and then you'll be waiting at the bus stop. How does your makeup look at the bus stop? How does your makeup look at the tube? How does your makeup look when you arrive in the office? It changes, doesn't it, with the light source? Anyway, so that's why I think it's fun just to work with what we're given, what we've been given. So yes, we'll pop back and see Miriam to get my tails done, because if you look in the mirror and you look at your face where the thickness of your brows are, now a lot of our brows tend to shrink as we get older. And what I mean by that is they get lighter. The individual hair might be more long and wiry and thicker, but you lose that shape. And when they start to shrink, it starts to shrink your face in. So you want to create that space and openness with your brows, okay, to create this lift. And let me just show you with the one side. So you just literally do it at an angle and you get 3 hairs per stroke. And for speed beauty, which we know we're not really speedy anymore, but anyway, for speed beauty, if I'm talking about that kind of like quick, easy makeup, this works really, really well because you're done. So you're saving yourself on those hairs. But can you see already when you're comparing my left to my right eye, that just pulls that out. And it's these little tricks of makeup that I kind of want you to see. And sometimes it may be quite nice to put me on your table and look at yourself in the mirror as well when we're doing the makeup and try and do it together. And then I can sort of train you to look at your faces in different ways, because it's very hard, I think, even for myself, a bit like with that with things I wear. Like, do I look good in this? Do I look better like this? I don't know, it's an emotional thing. You think, oh great, this feels brilliant when you put this shirt on, this jumper, but sometimes you just don't know, do you? And I know a lot of you feel like that with makeup, you're just not sure, so you just go for things that you always do, hence why you end up with 17 berry lipsticks in your makeup bag, which is just so dull. So I don't need any darkness there, but I need to pull this out to extend this eye. With the brows, gels, inks, brow gel inks, with the brow ink pens, store them upside down. I mean, obviously sometimes you don't have a pen holder, you're traveling, but it just allows the ink to be right in the same place. Sorry, not the ink to be going down, so it just travels through the pen system really well. Nice and easy. You can correct it with your finger. And I've just felt that that's lasted a little bit longer. I do like this colour. This is the Lancome one. This is shade 01 Light Brown. Again, it's really little. I've got a whole things of things that I'm testing and playing with them, and the things that I love go in a different bag. I just found that the inks lasted better when my skin was a little bit more warm. I'll just bring that back, and you can just shape the brows in every which way you want. Yeah, for a very natural effect. It doesn't have to be perfect because brows are brows. Okay, so I still love my Trini. Just put a little bit of that just before or after I do my lips, and a little bit around the texture of my nose. As you can see, this is not a perfect flawless makeup. We'll do one of those in another day, but this is just about keeping that all nice and soft. I do have a little bit of a red nose. Let me just put a little bit of the Merit Minimalist. This is possibly a little bit too light for me, this shade, but I'll pop it on anyway, just to soften that area to finish it off. You probably didn't notice, but when my big old fat moon face is looking at you in the camera, you might think, oh, why doesn't she address that area of her face? Anyway, actually, to be fair, none of you are like that. You're all bloody lovely. Okay, so this is the shade 30M. This is such a beautiful Armani eye tint, and I have loved this with my tanned look because it is slightly cooler. This is not an orange brown, it's much more of a kind of grey, cool brown. I'm just going to use that tip. You see, that's a great way to apply. Just getting it into the corner. It's soft, it's dewy, really dense, really push the pigment right to the base of the lashes. You don't need to be perfect about it. I've done it like this because I'm giving you a little tip. A lot of people put their product on like that and they might just blend it a little bit. But just keeping the product on your lid, as you can see from what I've done, makes your eyes look small. So take the product before it dries, I'll show you the difference, and push that tone right up to the brow. You might need to add a little bit more product, but just push that up to the brow. To knock back that side. You see how that makes such a difference, and it is such a common, understandable mistake. Not a mistake. People think they need to put a colour on their eyelids. Sometimes if your eyelids are like slightly pink or slightly different tone to your skin, and this is whatever colour skin you've got. You've got an olive skin, you've got a dark skin. Just take that shade that's a few slightly shades light darker and put it on the lid only, and you will shrink your eye. So just push it up. I might even just go a little crazy. Put some on the back of my hand and just rub that in and take that into the socket to make that even more soft and diffused. And that's great if you've got a hooded eye. That's really lovely to just counteract that, and it just looks so much more softer. I've really loved that. Feel very happy with that as a basic natural makeup. I've got lots of new mascaras coming in, and I'm trialing and testing, and I'm going to probably get like my 5 best. There's lots of tube mascaras coming through. There's a real mix of products. So I'll do a whole separate video on mascara, but my summer love has been rum. If you watch a lot of Instagram and you know lots of beauty people, which I'm sure you do, and I know that you do, follow Sally Hugh, Jones and the brilliant Sam Chapman. They're all brilliant, to be fair. All mega babes in their own different parts of the beauty industry. And they've created this brand called Rum, and this is their mascara. I don't know if this is going to be their only mascara or only product. It would be a shame if it was just one, because I don't know, it's just, there's so much beauty, isn't there, to buy? And there's something quite lovely investing, buying and supporting into a brand that you know that someone has put their heart and soul in, their expertise into, and that you know that you're going to get a brilliant, brilliant product. I just think it's kind of just more of a wholesome buy. So this is a tubing mascara. In my opinion, it's called Wrap Party. This is the best buildable tubing mascara that you can buy. A lot of the tube mascaras are thin, which I love for lower lashes, just tinting. Tubing mascaras are the only mascaras that I use for red carpet because I never, ever, ever have to worry. The key with this tubing mascara, or any tubing mascara, actually any mascara I think, especially if you like a mascara that just gives you a little bit of welly, a little bit of lift, is to apply it. Really, Caroline? Wow, revolutionary. Apply it and then just wait a couple of seconds. Maybe I'll put on some blush. Maybe I won't, because I'm not sure what blush I'm going to do. So there we are. I've waited 1 minute. I'm going to put the second coat on now. I was going to do a different blush, but that's another video. That's another video. I think I'm just going to keep it kind of quite simple. Is to wait 1 minute and then apply the second coat, because it makes all the difference. There's not many mascaras that I've put on that I get a massive wow straight away. It's always the second coat that you get the true feel and finish of the mascara. Mascara is always great right after about a month of having them, because they've dried out just a little bit. We've talked about this before, right? But this is just a fantastic mascara, and I'm going to do a little tip because it just stays put. You just got to be you've got to be diligent, haven't you, when you're taking your mascara off. Look at that, it's like painted doll lashes. To make sure you get rid of all the little tubies. I'm finding now at work, and I'm having to like peel off the mascara rather than, because I can't dissolve it with my makeup removers. I have to sort of peel it off, because obviously it just dissolves with the water. Anyway, I love, love, love that mascara. There is absolutely no need now to have any mascara that bleeds underneath your eyes. And sometimes I do. My friends will say, you got mascara down your face. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying a new one. Or you want to get something that's a bit more volumizing, and it does end up diluting under your face. But tubing mascaras, you know that you're safe. Right, before we do anything else, I'm going to show you this perfume by Rare Beauty. Now, I don't often talk about perfumes, but I thought actually it would be very nice to maybe include a perfume in the look and for you to share your perfumes with me. One of my favourite perfumes that I think lasts the longest is a portrait of a lady, my Frederick Mackay. My girlfriend, one of my besties, wears it, so I can't wear it, but it's so lovely and so long lasting. And I'm always trying to find that kind of warm, evocative, but fresh fragrance. This is just beautiful. Look at this lovely packaging. It's so sweet. There's something quite lovely about spritzing like that. So I've kept it by my makeup rather than upstairs in my bedroom. And it's lovely because it's cozy and warm. She's done an amazing, amazing job. I just love it. So if you're looking for something cozy and warm, it's available from Sephora and many other outlets. Congratulations, Selena. That is just lovely. Now, when I was away, I ended up with two favourites. I took about 6 with me and I tried different ones. When you're away and it's quite a warm, balmy atmosphere and you've whacked on loads and loads of gorgeous skincare, to put on a slippery lip is... I don't know, everything just felt a bit slimy. I actually used on holiday like a little bit of this lovely Fenty Beauty, and I sort of did all my gorgeous skincare, and then I took a lovely brush and I just mattified this area of my face, because that's where I've got the most texture. And if you've got, you know, little lumps and bumps and fine lines, just mattify it, knock that back and keep the rest of your face looking really lovely. So the first one I use is NARS Mad Rush. This is an absolute classic. I'll probably apply that. Maybe I won't apply it because you can see how gorgeous it is. It is so dry, but it doesn't dehydrate your lip, and it just looks super cool, I think, against a really glossy, balmy skin. I absolutely love that. I've probably had this for 3 years. There's still loads in it, and it just looks really gorgeous, and also very, very nice with a leopard. It's a brave, punchy lip, but I really liked it. So in contrast to that, I used this beautiful Valentino one. I absolutely adore this packaging and this lovely kind of pyramid textured case is really divine. So that would be my sort of classic lip if I wasn't going for something sort of more neutrally. But this is a really lovely reddy brown, and the reason that I stopped doing the blush is that I might put a little bit of blush in here. Anyway, see what you think. Literally always doing my lips like this now. If you've got, or you find that your lips are slightly diminishing, I'm finding this is a lovely way to get lippy on my lips, and it sort of looks more soft and diffused by starting just literally with my ring finger and getting that lovely stain on. And then going in and sort of perfecting it afterwards. It's lovely, isn't it? This is also lovely if you've got a slightly darker skin, you've got dark hair, dark eyes, and you want something that's a bit striking, that looks sophisticated, but doesn't kind of read as like a strong, strong red. It's got so much warmth in it. And then on a paler complexion like mine, I don't know, I just think it looks really, really nice. Like it's strong, but it's not like woohoo like this guy. Build it up. Again, like my mascara, 2 layers. Now, it's not all about the colour for me, for lipstick. Of course it is. I will get to that. But the first point of my love of any lipstick is the texture. And it's probably because I'm older now and my lips aren't perfect. My skin's not perfect. I want something that's going to stay. But I want something that's got a beautiful slip to it and a softness. And these Valentino lipsticks are exactly that. So backwards and forwards for the fuller part of my lip. And then taking that and just softening it. So it kind of makes, I've got a lot of hydration on my lip, like that, but it looks really soft. Now the balance between my eyes and lips is quite striking because it's so neutral against something so strong. So just to migrate these together, take it off there, and I'm just going to do like a little flush at the front. And again, because it's sort of soft and powdery, blends really well into the Armani blusher without it looking streaky or like you're putting something on top. Just a little bit on the nose, just bring that up, and then just blend it through just over your features like that, so it migrates all together. Now do you see how that kind of all works together? If you still felt like still a bit unbalanced, take a bit more, and you could just put a little bit in the top of your socket like that, very, very subtly, just that little bit of ready warmth just up there. Lovely. Very, very subtle. And there we are. Okay, great. So that's the look for today. I hope you liked all the tips. Maybe we can do like a Q&A session one time where I just answer your questions, and I'll make just sort of quick fire questions, and then I will read them all out so I can kind of give you a more sort of personal response to makeup. Like What do you struggle with when you're watching YouTubers? What kind of questions do you feel are not being answered? What do you need from an expert? What shortcuts are you struggling to find? Anything like that to help me know that I'm producing the right content would be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, thanks very much. I know I'm very, very lucky to have you as my tribe, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.